Hi, this is Chuck Martin at the AI Summit in New York. I'm happy to say I have with me here Vainquer, Head of Data Science and AI Labs at Digitas Group. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So you've been doing this for some time and you're dealing with large language models. That's like the sweet spot of everything right now.
Yes,
tell me about where that is right now.
So right now there are a lot of interesting topics, but the main one is how we can use large language models and scale them at inference time. That sounds a little bit complicated, but what that means is when you ask the model a question, generally or previously the model knew already the answer and would just roll out the answer for you. But now we want to make the model think harder while it's giving you the answer. So instead of making the model cleverer before, you make the model cleverer at the output stage, not the input stage.
So how do you do that?
How do you do that? There are a number of different techniques that the big labs have managed to use, but the first ideas came from prompting. So just giving the LLM instruction in order to force it to think step by step, to think and express its explanation or its reasoning flow more and more. And on top of this now, some training methods have been developed as well to create what is called a verifier, which is another model that will assess how good is the current answer at this particular point in order to strike down the bad answer and improve progressively the good answers.
So you gave a presentation earlier today on language models and where they're going. What did you talk about?
So I talk about verifiers. I also talk about the fact that many companies at the moment are trying to optimize their inference, meaning make it faster, make it more affordable, but also improving the quality of the reasoning in those models. Because what people don't like is to have models who are making hallucinations. And so in order to remove those hallucinations, you need to improve the capability of the model to reason and to know when it's wrong or to know when it's generating something that doesn't exist.
Can the hallucination issue ever be totally solved?
I don't think hallucination can be solved because even for human, it has never been solved. So I don't think we'll manage to solve it for computers as well. If you think about it, the model is like a brain, and the brain can remember imperfectly some information. And that's when hallucination might come in. I think that's a classical case in terms of witnesses of attacks, of people being harmed. A lot of people remember things that never happened. So we shouldn't expect the model to completely erase hallucination. But all we can do is put in place the software, the architecture, and the training phase that will reduce those hallucinations as much as we can.
So does that mean that at some point in the future there will still be some kind of thing that's wrong?
Yes, I don't think we'll ever reach perfection on that level. Even the new models called RAG that allow you to mobilize a knowledge base, they can still hallucinate. So 100% perfection is not going to be attainable.
As you said, like the human race.
Yes, yes. But what we can do is still try to detect from the output of those models output that could be hallucinated. And that doesn't need necessarily to sit inside the model. That can be an outside process that is controlling information that goes out to the public.
So what is the future of models? Is it still large? Is it small models? Is it multimodal? Is it all of those?
I think the future will be really diverse because some companies need some very smart model on very niche application. They want, for example, to predict loan frauds, for example. They don't want that same model to also generate video or be able to read poetry. No, they want something small, also because it allows them to run those models faster. And sometimes the quality of the experience for the user depends on how fast the model can output a result. On the other side, for example, if you think about domains like meteorology or hard science, hard physics, you're very willing to wait 30 minutes, an hour to get the best possible result. And in order to do that, you will probably need a very large model that is extremely good at reasoning even if it takes a lot more time. So I think both of those aspects will continue. And on the other side, you also have the constraint of the device people are using those models on. So if you think about mobile phones, for example, the largest model cannot hold on the chip of a mobile phone. But what you would want for privacy reasons, but also for cost reasons, is have some small models that can run directly on your phone and give you some fully private output.
So you've been doing this for some time. Did you ever see that large language models, generative AI, would be such a big deal?
Yes, actually I did. Back in the day, in 2017 or 2018, one of my friends called me from California. I was back in London and told me there is something huge coming and I will get you some invite so you can go to Google and see the demo. And I went there and I saw what was coming and immediately decided to leave my job and dive straight inside language models. I was too early and I regretted it later on, but yes, that's exactly what I expected.
So is it now the future?
I'm very hopeful about the future, especially in the application of language model, for example, to science and to health and healthcare. And when I see what has been produced with AlphaFold by the DeepMind team, and on the other side by companies like Google Brain and OpenAI on the large language model, I can definitely see this as being fundamental building blocks of improving people's lives. On the other side, there are some risks, and they need to be mitigated, but more importantly, they need to be studied. And so I'm following very carefully the field of mechanistic interpretability that is trying to understand the brain of those models, and I believe this is the most important thing we have to do at the moment.
So in a company like Digitas, which has a lot of clients all over the world,
yes.
are the clients looking for companies like Digitas to help them figure this out?
Yes, a lot of the clients that we have are in this phase where they've tried a few POC internally, sometimes by non-specialized team, but they need to get to the next level to go to production. They need to be able to embed those new technology and those new tools, not only in their day-to-day work, but also in products that are facing clients. And that's when they actually need help from Digitas Publicis and other companies like ours.
So a year from now, we're sitting here talking about large language models. Will we still be talking about the same thing or something different?
That's a very good question. I think a year from now, we will be more focused on whether we have attained AGI or whether we will attain AGI in the near future. I think language model is just one type of AI. It's the most powerful so far, but we're starting to see them being mixed with more and more other AI-related tools, and I think that's the path we will need to take to get to artificial general intelligence.
Well, I look forward to that conversation in a year. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is AI in New York.